I guess that's my thumbnail, y'all. But anyway, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the real reason I moved to South Korea. Ooh. For those of you who don't know, I currently live in South Korea, the countryside of Gyeonggi. And I moved here in January of 2020. I look sloppy, y'all. Yes, I was about to go to bed, but I decided to film this video anyway. So don't judge me. But like I said, I do live in South Korea and I moved here February of 2022. And so far, it's been pretty good. I have my own likes and dislikes, but not the point of this particular video. So moved here, and a question that an expat is going to get a lot in South Korea, I don't know what it's like other places, but you're always going to get the question, why did you move to Korea? Not really from other expats. We don't really care that much. We might be a little curious, but for the most part, we're not going to be like, so why'd you move to South Korea? What brings you here? Did you really like K-dramas, K-pop, Korean culture, Korean food? We're not going to ask that. We'll just be like, oh, okay, cool, and go on. But you will get asked that from random people on the street, your coworkers, parents of students you teach sometimes, the old ladies in the grocery store, the old lady at the restaurant, the old man. You're going to get asked the question a lot, the bus driver. And my go-to answer is, oh, I was bored and I wanted a change of scenery, which I guess is true. But the real reason that I moved to South Korea was because I was broke and sad. Not just broke and sad, but I was astronomically, catastrophically broke and depressed. So not just regular sad, but the big sad. I was very sad. I graduated college in 2018. I got a degree in journalism with a minor in English. At the time, I thought it was a good choice. I didn't even want to be a journalist. I don't even know. I should have did PR or like media and entertainment or entertainment business or something like that. But I decided to do journalism and I minored in English. My minor was originally Spanish, but I got to like intermediate 2 and I said, this is really hard. So I switched it to English because I liked to read. I had to read a lot, child. But anyway, yes, so I graduated August 11th and I started working at my full-time job, I think maybe August 18th. So I got a job right out of college. It didn't have nothing to do with my field, girl. Nothing. I started working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car as a management trainee. And when I started working there, I think we made between $42,000 and $44,000 a year. I don't really remember off the top of my head, but it was somewhere like that. I looked it up a couple hours ago what the salary is now, and it's 47. I think there was a pay jump, so maybe it was 44 to 40. I don't know. I was making a good amount of money right out of college is the point. Every paycheck I got when I worked at Enterprise was at least $2,000 unless I had some sick days or unless I just took unpaid days off. I'm pretty sure it was at least $2,000. So every month I was bringing in about $4,000 every month. Right out of college as a 22-year-old, I think I was about to turn 22. I was about to turn 22. So as a 22-year-old, that's a lot of money to be making. And right when I graduated, I was still living in student apartments. So my rent was only $400 a month. My car was $300. My car note was $1 something. So all in all in bills, it was under $1,000. I still had a lot of play money to just around with. My nails were always done. My hair was pretty much always done. I even got my lashes done. I was going on trips, buying clothes, having fun, living life, right? I hated the job. It was a lot of hours and a lot of work, but my coworkers were great and the environment was pretty good. It was just really rough sometimes. The hours crazy. I was working about sometimes 50 hours a week because overtime was required. So crazy stuff. So not a bad job. I was living in on-campus housing until summer of 2019. Then I moved to my big girl apartment and rent was $1,400 a month. So me and my roommate were splitting it. So I was paying $700 in rent and then altogether $800 after bills and stuff. So after the rent. So With that being said, I was doing pretty okay still able to go on trips as long as I managed my money pretty well. Until the pandemic hit in March of 2020 and I got furloughed for 2 weeks. It was paid, but then after those 2 weeks, we were unpaid. At a certain point, I was able to get unemployment, but I cashed out all my vacation days. Then I got really sad and I got really depressed the entire summer. Let's say June 2020 to about starting June 2020. We'll get into the big sad later. But June 2020 was when I really hit the depression. Ooh, actually, I got my nose pierced when I was in the depression for sure. So May 2020 was when the depression really May 2020 was when the deep depression started, and it went on for a while. But anyway, so that's when the depression first got me. Not for the first time ever, but in that time period. In the matter of this story. In the matter of this. And then I had to apply for part-time jobs because no other place was hiring for full-time positions, really. It was really, really rough, as we all know. It was difficult. So I applied to work as a substitute teacher. I was making maybe $80 a day, I think, if I did a full day. And then I also was working at Amazon. If you've lived in Murfreesboro at any time in your life, you either worked at Amazon or you know somebody who worked at Amazon. It was like a cult. You couldn't escape it. I did sell my soul and worked at Amazon. I did. My lips are dry as fuck. So after working Amazon and working those odd jobs, also doing deliveries like Uber and Lyft. I did not do Lyft. I did Uber Eats and I did DoorDash. Never did Lyft, child. Didn't do that. I cannot continue to function like this. So when our lease was up, I moved in with my sister. I moved from Tennessee to Georgia. And I was also working at David's Bridal, so I just transferred to the David's Bridal in Georgia because I couldn't find a job anywhere else. So I just decided to transfer. Not the best. Anyways, I was making $11.75 per hour. So going from making $2,000 every 2 weeks to barely bringing in $500 a week, if I was lucky, I feel like that might even be pushing it. It was really hard. It was really rough because I still had a car note. I still had car insurance, and I had to pay my sister to help with bills and pay my keep for living there. So it was $300 a month. And it was still really fucking hard. It was really, really hard. And I was still big sad. I was still depressed. I was depressed the entire time I lived in Georgia. The entire time I lived there. So that's what led me to apply and move into South Korea. I actually applied for the first time December 2020 because they were still hiring. I applied for the first time. I didn't get a position, but I applied again and I ended up getting my position this time. So while I was in my deeply broke and sad era living in Murfreesboro still, I was in therapy because I was very depressed. I need to emphasize that I was very depressed. I would stay up. I had a fear of sleeping. It was just terrible. I was depressed and I was anxious. I thought we were going to die at any moment. I had no idea. Like, I didn't know if I was going to get sick and die. Someone else was going to get sick and die. If I just didn't know. None of us knew. So I was in therapy. And the place where I did my therapy with, because I was low income, because I didn't have a fucking job, I had no money, broke and sad, hello. The place that I got my therapy with was free because I didn't have any money. It was income based. And they also provided assistance if you needed help in other ways. Like if I needed help with my bills, which I did, I applied and they helped me pay half my rent 1 month, which really, really was a huge weight off my shoulders. Even if it was just like a little bit of help, anything was so meaningful to me. I was trying the best I could. I would look for churches that was offering assistance. I would look at anywhere that was offering assistance, any kind of money, any kind of help, any kind of jobs, anything. I was trying my damnedest to do the best I could. I was doing the best I could with what I had. You know, Mariah Carey, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I'll do the best I can with what I got. Oh! That was my motto literally from May 2020 up until February 2022. Let me tell y'all something. When I lived in Georgia, I applied for over 50 jobs. Over 50 jobs. And I think I got an interview for 2 of them. 2 of them. Again, I have a college degree. I had full-time experience. Yes, it was in sales. However, a lot of companies that hire like sales. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can word things to match the job you're applying for. Not to mention other experience that I had from running my own podcast and having making those graphics and doing all the production, writing everything all on my own. So I used that to my advantage. A small internship that I had, which was terrible. It was a terrible internship. I won't say who it's with, but it was terrible. I used all of that to my advantage, everything I could to my advantage. And my resume looked nice. I thought I was a pretty good candidate for at least some of them. But to apply for 50 jobs and to only get an interview for 2 of them is insanity. The workforce is in the pits of hell, and I'm so scared to go back. Like, I'm terrified. I do have a really good community here. The expat community here is lovely, depending on who you befriend and who you get to know. My friends are great, so no problem there. But the problem that I face now is my next step. Is figuring out what I'm going to do after I leave. Because once I'm out of this position and I'm no longer in the safety of being an English teacher where I get a paycheck each month, I have to go back. I have to re-enter the workforce, and I'm terrified that I'm going to apply for 50 plus jobs again and not get a single interview or a single call back or a single offer from any of them. Especially because I don't really have experience in the field that I want to work in. Ideally, I would like to work in media and entertainment, like I mentioned, but I don't have any actual experience outside of a podcast that I used to run a few years ago. How do companies expect you to gain experience if they won't give you a chance? And this is a question that thousands, millions of people ask all the time, especially entering the workforce. And I feel like even though I had a full-time job, I don't have any experience. My full-time job, besides teaching, was in sales, marketing. I don't know shit about sales. I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you a single thing. I can't sell water to a dying man who's dying of thirst. I can't. I can just ask, do you want this water? You seem really thirsty. If they say no, I'm done. And that's not even to say I'm not persuasive, but once somebody tells me no, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not about to keep pushing and pushing. Anyway, I went on a tangent. The point is, what am I going to do? While I was editing, I realized that I did not ever finish out this video. Like, I didn't have an ending to it. So I'm just going to film one really quick. Basically, the moral of the story is, if you are in a really low place, just know that it does not last forever. It might seem like it is lasting forever, but remember, it doesn't. Sometimes it just might take a really long time. If there's a decision that you are thinking about making that is going to change your life, do it. Moving to Korea was one of the best things I've ever done, if not the best. And I can't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't move and if I didn't take that step and do something that was crazy or out of the ordinary for me. So, yeah. If you have any questions about Korea specifically, I'm not saying you have to come to Korea, but like, if you have any questions about Korea specifically, or the program, just leave a comment and let me know, and I can try my best to help you, or I can at least lead you in the right direction to find your answers. Yeah, you only get one life. Make these crazy decisions, do what you need to do, take that job, break up with that person that you're dating, drop that friend, whatever you need to do to make your life better and do something for yourself, do it. Yes, I'm in my pajamas because I woke up and I was editing and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have an ending. Let me hurry up and film something. Child, my apartment looks a mess. Oh my God. That's how you know this was not planned. I just felt like I really needed to do this so I could end off the video. But yeah, I was broke and sad, and now I'm not broke and not sad. Now I'm pretty happy. Whether I have money in my bank account or not, I'm still happy with my life. I'm still fulfilled. And I'm so thankful for everything, all the friends I've made, all the experiences that I've done, everything. So I'm really happy that I kept going, that I'm still here, and that I just kept pushing. It can be really, really hard to keep going. I know. Sometimes it's so hard that you can't do it anymore, but just try your best to keep going. Try your best to make the best out of everything that you have. And yeah. Bye.